Hey, let's get this done so you can go pop your wife's popcorn.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a good euphemism.
It's not. I'm going to pop popcorn.
Okay. Yeah,
No,
baby. Hey,
really.
everybody, welcome to another episode of Pocket Change, episode 100. Woo!
You should have had the confetti cannon so you can.
No, I would, but that's on my OnlyFans. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh.
Family show, family show.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say it. Of course, I do have to say, in honor of feedback time that we're going to give tonight, I am now at 69.
Yes, and you don't want any more. Don't leave him any more feedback. He's good with where he is.
Family show. Let's go ahead and talk about our sales. I'll go first.
Go ahead. What
We're
do you got?
glad you're here, folks. Let's get this out of the way real quick. So, I was looking at my performance and sales for the week of 12/15 through 12/21. It's a great, wonderful thing. In fact, I'm gonna give a quick screen share here, Benz, if you don't mind.
What do you want to do?
Just to show everybody what happens when you put your store on vacation mode. Had a great week. I've actually been doing well. I didn't put my store on until the 17th.
Yeah.
And then I had some watchers and I would send them an offers and they just wouldn't do it. I will have a sale for next week. I already did it, but we try to film this and keep everything consistent. But
Yeah.
yeah, so my sales total 0 buyers down 100%, breakdown one-time buyers down 100%, repeat buyers 0%, percent of
You're there,
total
zero.
0%. So I get a big zero. I did get
Loser.
one bad
Or is
thing.
it this way? Oh,
Yeah, and I don't know which way to be in the camera, but I did get one bad thing though, folks. And I know I'm saying folks now because I used to say ladies and gentlemen and everyone, and that just got to be too wordy because we want to be all inclusive here
You saw
on
it
our
2020.
podcast.
Yes.
Where was I going with this?
You got some bad news? Bad something? Mojo?
Oh yeah, some bad news from eBay. Now, and when I log in, it flashes up red. Everything's in red. It says you're in danger of losing your top seller status. It's
Why?
not because of my items. You have to maintain so many items being sold per time period. And because I have been trending downward, I'm about to lose my top seller status. So that's bad news, folks. I'm still doing better than I did last year. So
Yeah, I wouldn't worry
I,
about it. And you
I'm
got
not
it
going to,
early, right? You're supposed to have
yeah,
100. You're supposed to have 100 feedback before you can even get that. They gave it to you early because you were doing well.
because all my other metrics were so high. Because what it is now, they base it off of, I believe it's 5 different categories. And if you got the majority of those categories and you're in a certain higher percentage than what normal, because I was 100%, they went ahead and I got my top seller rating. Now, one thing that does matter is you're supposed to have either 100 feedback or 100 things sold. Now, here's the thing. If you have over 100 feedback, you can keep it and you won't be in danger as long as you're meeting your other metrics. If you don't, like I don't, and you're not maintaining those 100 items sold in the last 90 days, then you can lose it. So I may end up losing it, but I'll get it right back. I'm not worried about it. The eBay office is coming along stupendously. I had planned to have
You know
it
what?
done by now.
You have to list to sell, man. We've talked about this.
I know you only sell what you list, and you and
No,
everything
no.
sells eventually.
You can't just
Oh,
keep reselling the same.
you do have to list. So there's a thing. Now I have sold a couple items. I do have great feedback. Took a little while to get it, but anyway, won't skip categories. We'll go ahead. What's your sales? Even because here's the difference between a low seller. Here's the kicker: you can put your store on vacation mode, and at my level, it kills you. But at somebody else's level, go ahead and tell us about your
No,
week.
it slowed my sales. There is no
Well,
doubt
it
about
did,
it.
but you're still selling.
Yes. So performance this week was horrible.
Well,
I'm
let's
down
see it. Share it. Share it.
14.9% versus the last time. I sold $616.81.
And
I
he's
did make
complaining.
$400 off of that though. So
Complain
I've only
planes.
sold 27 items, but I sold less cheapy items and more better items, not great items.
Complaining.
I'm
Made
not
400
complaining.
bucks, cleared 400 bucks. His
Four
sales
hundred
were
bucks
down.
ain't paying the bills.
That's true.
But
That's not going to pay your bills. We understand that. And we also understand living in Tampa, Florida
it's horrible.
and it's a little higher echelon of society to
I
live
don't know
there.
about that. That doesn't mean anything. I'm actually getting ready to move to Savannah, Georgia.
Please, 90% of the people who live there are 20 years older than you and have half the money in the world. He's
Yeah,
sick.
I'm not 20 years older. I didn't got half the money in the world. I barely can
I,
make it.
I know, but that's why it's the cost of living is much higher. Butter down there is probably 10 times what it is here. Just
But
say
it
it.
was $7 a pound. I just bought it. It wasn't on
And it's
sale.
$3 a pound here.
Damn it. And I'm a butteraholic. It's a problem. But
At least you don't just eat it with a spoon.
yeah, you got to. How do you think I get so petite?
Anyway,
Bread
so
is
your
only a way to get butter
so
in my
your
mouth.
performance is down 14%, but you still managed to eke out $400 in your pocket, $600 even on vacation.
Yes.
While we put our stores on vacation this time of year, it's not
Yeah.
because we're actually taking a vacation, folks. It's because, and this is the first time I did it. Ben, you want to explain it? I'm
Yeah.
talking
So
to.
last year, and on the 17th, because the last day to ship was the 18th to get it there on time. Even on the 17th, I got 4 sales, and 2 out of the 4 was saying, "Hey, I bought this as a Christmas present. I'm expecting it on time." And last year I didn't put it on, and the stuff that I sold after the cutoff date, they'd buy it for the cheapest rate and then say, "Hey, can you upgrade this for me for free?" And
Yeah,
I wasn't even trying to do that this year. Although the two that they asked about, I was able to change them to UPS ground for a little bit of money, not even as much as they paid. So I did that to guarantee they got them on time. But I didn't want to have to do that on the 18th, 19th, 20th, because now you're getting into priority and you're getting into more expensive. I made sure everybody got their stuff, and I've double checked it. At this point, everything has delivered. Today's the 23rd, so that's a good thing. The only thing that hasn't delivered is stuff that was bought for Puerto Rico that wasn't a Christmas thing, I don't believe. So,
and seriously, folks, they will do that. They will buy it at the cheap rate and then ask you, "I bought this as a Christmas present. Will you upgrade it, please?"
well, yeah,
And
somebody bought Christmas, not Christmas, children's records that they wanted to give to their daughter. And she's like, I was in there, but I was going to upgrade in priority. She could have done ground as well because they were both were there. She says, but the priority was $35 on a $20 item. That just seemed ridiculous. Yeah, that is ridiculous, but that's how you guarantee you get it. So if you're going to wait until the last minute, you got to pay for it.
folks, is here's the kicker: it doesn't get there,
Yeah, and then they're upset.
and they're upset,
Oh yeah.
and you get bad feedback. And mine's carrying through until the 29th. I don't know when Ben's has got his coming back in, but I've carried mine through until the
Oh, I
29th.
did it until the 25th because I'm not worried about it after that. But then I don't have to ship till the 27th. But I also then changed my shipping days from 1 day to 3 days now. So, and that was a pain because on eBay, when you go in and then
Mm,
you send an offer, you do this, and then it takes your 6 shipping methods and makes them 18.
yeah,
So then you got to go in on everything that's on these copies. You got to take them, end them, and then relist them under the first one because you can't change them because there's an offer for whatever reason. So that took me about 3 hours to get through to get everything to 3 days. And there's still 2 items.
and that's how I got screwed on that one
Yep,
item because remember I tried to bulk change it.
yep.
I didn't go back in and change everyone because it doesn't bulk change on every one.
Now, if there's an offer or someone you sent an offer, or they sent you an offer on it, you can't change it even after the offer's expired.
Yeah,
It's
even
some
after the
kind of
offer's
crazy thing.
expired. It's crazy how it does that. Even
Yeah.
after the offer is expired, it will still freeze it. Really?
Yeah, but that's
Why?
how it works, man. It's not the greatest system. They built it in 1997, and they just keep adding chunks to it, right? This is still at some point they need to re-upgrade everything to. It'll never happen, because the background is too deep, and there's so much stuff. It just needs to. You just need to know there are going to be some flaws and issues with the eBay system, but I've sold on every platform there is out there, and eBay is by far the best.
what they need to do, and just a suggestion to eBay folks, and is if we need to get this to them, is they actually need to build a copycat site, brand new from the ground up, and then make an offer for everybody to go over to it, as sellers to migrate over to it. No one will have to reload all our stuff, but migrate over to it for, I don't know, a free couple months or whatever of our store pricing or something along those lines. And then there wouldn't be quite as many glitches. I also think that's why they're having problems with their AI.
Yeah,
It's
I
because
think it's you built off of old technology and it's not working. I think that is probably what it is.
I think that's exactly it. But
So
anyway,
that council, did you get a note from them? I heard they're dissolving the council.
they are doing away with the eBay Council and the eBay Council site. It's not been really a council, if you ask me. It's just been basically an insider site.
Yeah,
And what we got, the letter we got stated that they are going to be replacing it with a complete open platform eBay news, eBay upgrades, eBay specialty site that anybody can go to. It won't require a login. That's supposed to be coming mid 2025,
cool.
which would be awesome because there's been a lot of stuff in there that I've been able to share just because it was in there. And honestly, if we were helping to make decisions for the future of eBay as seller representatives, that might be one thing. But just going in there and reading stuff, I don't see why that couldn't have been shared with everybody.
Yeah, that's cool. I read that article. Didn't It wasn't long enough to actually talk about the eBay news section, but I was like, hey, I wonder if he heard. So
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah, it is going away. It's going to be, and they don't. I don't even know what the name of it is, but basically they're going to take all that information, all the past information, all the future information, and put it on a public site so that anybody can get to it. And I agree with that. I think that's marvelous. Do that because I just think that's a wonderful thing to do.
All right, you learn anything this week?
No, I learned that if you don't have good sales and you go on vacation mode, you're not going to have jack squat. And I also learned that a lot of people, when you go on vacation mode, apparently will jump on you and make you offers for 70 and 80% off like crazy. Because I have filtered, and I just got to where I was just like, the client, because I don't like it sitting there.
I've had a lot of
But
offers too.
I also learned, yeah, I learned something. I learned something about the United States Postal Service.
Hmm,
If you are going to deal with the United States Postal Service this time of year, folks, take you a bag of chips, a candy bar, a drink, something, grab your items, go wait in line, camp out, enjoy your time, make some new friends, take pictures of your kids with you to show to strangers in line, sing Christmas carols, whatever you want to do. Because if you just go drop it in the thing, you're going to be fretting like nobody's business because they don't scan items this time of year at all, hardly, unless you force them to.
yeah.
The package, and you said this was going to come back up. So the thing I sold the week before, that I was going back and forth of whether I should ship it or whether I shouldn't. Okay, I did. I shipped it. Ben's was like, just go ahead. So I went ahead, but instead I didn't want to wait in the line, so I just dropped it in one of the blue boxes and
No,
walked away. And then I'm going, oh my gosh, where is it? It's not even showing I gave it. So it came down to I was communicating with the guy. It hadn't even been 10 days yet, but he was going, I don't know if I'm going to get it. And I was like, I don't know if you are either. So here's the thing, by the 24th, I know I can go the full 10 days, which would be the 26th. It would have been 10 full days from shipping and all that. But if it's not there by the 24th, I will issue you a full refund because it was a free shipping item. Because remember, I got screwed by eBay, folks. So it was a free shipping item. It had to be shipped, whatever, a couple days. So I was like, if it's not there by the 24th, I will, or is not showing tracking by the 24th or where it is, I will issue a full refund. I apologize. And the he's been gracious too. And we've been communicating back and forth. It finally got scanned before delivery today.
it
It finally showed
happens,
up
man.
miraculously in Hoboken, New Jersey, and went out for delivery. And I'm like, whew, Thank you, God, because I that was a here's the thing, free shipping, and here's the big kicker too. If you have to refund money, you folks know I don't refund shipping cost.
Yeah,
But here's the thing, they didn't pay shipping cost. I paid it on this one. So I would have had to ate the shipping cost and refunded the entire amount.
that sucks. That happened to me this week. You remember that statue of the sheep herder?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got crushed.
Oh my gosh.
Crushed. The face of the sheep got ripped off, and the hat, part of the hat.
How? Because you always package stuff so
I
nice.
mean, you can go watch Sipping and Shipping. I wrapped it with small bubble wrap, big rubber wrap, 2 times around, in a box, peanuts around it.
What they do? Run over it with a truck?
The box was just ripped at the head. Now I can go back on USPS and try to get my money, but I doubt it's gonna fuck. Every time I've tried to get my $100 coverage from USPS, it never works out. But it just ripped the face off the sheep on his shoulder and a little chunk off his hat. So they must have just crushed. They just ripped the crap out of it. Person was very upset. I apologized. I gave them a full refund. I sold it for $50 and $58 shipping.
Oh, oh, and you refunded the shipping too?
I did because that wasn't the lady was upset. I could tell from the emails back and forth that if I didn't, so that
I would.
sale cost me. I get paid $5 for the thing. I sold it for 50, and so it cost me $5 plus $23 in shipping, so $28 to refund her all her money. And you know what? I told her I can send it back. That one I didn't have free returns. She'd have to send it back, but she's just going to cost me $75 to send it back because I got it for 20, but I got
Yeah,
like 70%
yeah.
off. I
Don't
told her, you
ship
know
it
what?
back.
Just keep it. If you want to try to fix it, because she was very upset. She really wanted it. I said, try to fix it. If you can fix it, keep it. There's no reason to send it back. Send me pic. She sent me pictures of the box, and I'm gonna fill out the paperwork and try to get my $50 back from the post office because that's what the item cost. And then I should. It's more than that because I was doing a 20% off coupon, so she gave $50 was after the 20% off, so it's really $60. I might be able to get my $60 back. I'll try to go to the post office and get my $60, which will cover my cost and then a little bit of profit. But it's very upsetting. That was horrible.
Jeez. Yeah, I'm going to say this, folks. I'm getting very tired of U.S. Postal Service. The only reason I went with them, and I didn't even have them listed when I first opened my store. And here's the problem with eBay buyers: you are competing against other sellers who will use U.S. Postal Service.
Yeah, so you have to.
But we're starting to notice that it is just not, stuff doesn't get checked in like it should. We're gonna have to start going above and beyond. If I go to UPS, which I love UPS, if I go to UPS, I drop the box off on the counter, it's scanned right there. I can walk out and leave.
Yeah,
You drop your boxes off on the counter at USPS, it may never get scanned until it reaches its destination. I've got one that I literally eBay dinged me or started to ding me on, and I had to reach out to the buyer, and the buyer confirmed that they had received it because the U.S. Postal Service never ever scanned it.
that's crazy.
They scanned it in, and then they never scanned it from there on out, and it got delivered. And I got feedback on it, and I was like, "Wait a minute, eBay, this was delivered." The person would not have given me feedback had it not been delivered. Trust
Right.
me. And so I got them to actually confirm by messaging that they had received it. They loved the item. They were like, they thought I was absolutely stupid, but I told them, I said, eBay's getting ready to ding me for this. Please confirm that you got it because tracking's not showing that you ever got it. Oh,
That's
and
crazy, man.
they even said, why would I left you the feedback I left you if I hadn't got the item? I'm like, hey, makes sense to me too.
All right. What I learned this week was if you're waiting in line to use the machine where you can scan your own stuff in, if they run out of stamp booklets and people buy 100 stamps, it will print 100 in individual stamps for that person. That's what happened in front of me. The lady was like trying to send her stuff out. She was like, "What?" She didn't want to wait in line. No, she went to line. They said, "Oh, we don't have the Christmas stamps here, but if you go to the kiosk, we still have some in there." So she went in there and bought 100 stamps. They were out of the Christmas stamps. It never told her that. She bought 100 stamps, and then they just shot out. One, two, three, and not even that fast. I was in line behind her, and she's like,
What?
"Sorry." I'm like, "This is crazy." I
God.
left her, got in the line. The guy who was standing next to me, he's like, "Hey, jumping in front of me," because I'd been standing there forever. And then I went through the whole line, came back out of the post office, and she was still waiting for those stamps. They were just one at a time,
Oh
one
my
stamp. She was so pissed off. She bought 100 stamps so she could send her Christmas cards. Bought them through the machine because she wanted Christmas stamps. And said, "Oh, we were out, but the machine has them." And you know what? The machine didn't.
Anyway, all right. What's our next category? Moving on.
Feedback of the week.
Feedback of the
You're up to
week.
69. You must have got some feedback.
Let me go over here and get my feedback of the week. Let's see.
My favorite feedback of the week was somebody bought the Junior VHS Factory Shield movie, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and their feedback was, "I don't even have a VHS player, but love the movie."
Okay.
Yeah,
So they don't even have a VHS, but they bought the VHS from you.
just to have the VHS. That's awesome. Collectors, man. I love it.
Okay. So my favorite feedback of the week was actually the guy that in. I'm going to go ahead with this because he bought it the week before and he left feedback today. He said the seller was very professional and was eager to track down the item, messaged me often for verification of shipment. And that's what you want to hear, folks. Those are the kind
Yeah,
of things. That's not a eBay generated one. That's them literally putting it in there. And they really appreciate me going above and beyond to keep messaging them saying, "Have you received it yet? I'm watching the tracking. There's nothing being described here. If it doesn't come, here's what we're going to do." And I think because they were a new buyer too, that helped ensue buyer confidence in eBay and in me, because I was like, they didn't even ask. I was like, okay, eBay rule is 10 days. If it's not there, but I'm not going to worry about that. If you don't have it by Christmas Eve, and I know this is not a Christmas item, but if you don't have it by then, I'm going to go ahead and issue a full refund. I mean, that,
yeah,
and so I think that you instill buyer confidence by doing that. This again was a 0. Now they're a 1 because I left them excellent feedback as well. But that is my feedback of the week. So it turned out to be a very nervous situation. And half the time I was going, I should have just listened to my gut and not shipped this item. But now it turned out fine. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. Like Ben was saying, face was crushed on the lamb. But that is terrible, man. I can't believe that because you're always so particular about how you wrap stuff. But
oh no, I am.
they just destroyed it. That's what they did. They just had it in for that. But anyway, so that's my feedback of the week. Very professional, and they always try to strive for that. Can't say sell of the week because I don't have one.
Yeah,
I did get 2 feedbacks this week though, and that was just the best one. One lady gave me feedback. I don't think she was intending to, because she sent me a message that she said, "Thank you so much for the cards that you sold me." And I said, I messaged back. I was like, "I didn't sell you cards. I'm the one that sold you the compass." And she's like, "Oh." And then I get feedback, but it wasn't quite as good. It was just like excellent transaction.
yeah.
That,
Well, that's good.
all right.
So the YouTube channel is doing better. I think we had 19 subscribers the last time we did a podcast. We're at 20, so we gained 21 subscribers. So we've more than doubled.
We were at 19 and we gained 20.
21. We're at 40.
Wow. We
Yeah.
love each and every one of you.
Yeah, and we've been having a lot of feedback. So, like this guy, Reality Smacks You, he's been leaving us a lot of good feedback on every episode. So, thank you for leaving us feedback. He left feedback on Stop Losing Money and Learn from the Reselling Round Table. He left us 2 on that one. One was, "Boy, this Mike Metco gets around. LOL, I see him on all the shows. He must have a good reputation."
He does. Everybody loves Mike.
And
I don't
then
know
the other
anybody.
one was, "Yep, listen to other resellers is why I started watching and commenting on your YouTube. because no one I know wants to talk to reseller shop, and that's what I like to do. So hey, man, thanks for commenting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mike Metco comments on every episode. Thank you, Mike. And that one was one of the last ones we put out before we started doing this. So he said, I forgot that you recorded this episode with me and Archie. Yeah. So he just
Yeah.
rewatched it. He said it was odd. He was talking about meetups, and he hadn't yet come to the decision to start his meetup channel, but he has now. It was like a precursor to what he was doing. So, Mike Metco meetups, check it out.
You can throw the link. You can get the link and
Yeah,
throw it in.
I will.
Definitely check it out, and definitely, because here's the thing: right now, while we are recording this, the season for meetups is slow, and it's
Yeah,
because it's the holidays. But it's going to pick up quick, and you're going to want to make sure. Here, okay, so folks, let me just tell you, just jump in here for a second. So a lot of times the meetups, you'll hear about them, and you hear about them through the grapevine, and oh crap, I need to order my tickets, and then you get busy a little bit, but they're so quick happening that if you need to order like airline tickets, when they had the one in Vegas, what was it, like 2 months ago,
something like that.
it was almost too quick to really try to buy, for someone like me to buy plane tickets. So part of what you're going to see here with Mike's channel is he's going to try to make sure what he's telling me, he's getting them out there, and as soon as he knows about them. So if you know of a meetup, you definitely want to drop that to Mike too, because the more of us that are there, the better the meetup's going to be. And it's just the truth. So if you know of one, you want to get it over to him so that he can get it on his channel, and then the more he shows once he goes to it, how good it is going to attract more. That's how these things grow.
Yeah,
So
so now he's recruited Mary McQueen. She's going to be part of his entourage and help him load and do this stuff. She's another person that goes to a lot of meetups. So it'll be Mike and Mary telling us about the meetups coming up. And also, so I think his goal is to like, hey, these meetups are coming up. And then once the meetup happens, give you videos of him at the meetup,
mhm.
meeting people. And then after the meetup, he's going to do a little thing where he talks about how the meetup was, what happened, and the highlights. It's definitely a cool channel to check out that's just starting. It's nothing like we have on YouTube or anywhere. I think it'll be a big hit because Mike has got a great personality and he's a good dude. And then Mary will just bring another level of awesomeness to the whole thing. So that's cool.
Yeah. Even though we're small guys, we want to make sure that we're giving shout out to those people that
Oh yeah.
that that are doing other things, doing unique things, and doing great things for this industry. And Mike is doing awesome, and this channel is going to be. Gosh, Mike, I know you're seeing this, but I figure by the time you see it, you're probably going to have over 100 to 200 subscribers. I don't know where he's at right now. Should we check to see where he's at right now? Because I know that it's launched.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
know.
but yeah, if you've not liked and subscribed that, and you like Pocket Change, definitely go see Mike, because you're gonna get involved in that. And of course, you'll put the link in the description, right, Ben's?
Yeah. He's got 89 subscribers, kicking our butt.
80, he's already kicking our butt.
Exactly.
Way to go, Mike.
One video. Dang it. But
One
it makes
video and
sense
89.
because he's a pillar in the community. So good for you, Mike. All right. So let's do some eBay news. And then, unless you got something else,
I don't think I got anything else. I mean, we're only going about 30 minutes, and we've done our feedback of the week. Oh, we didn't do our buyer of the week. We didn't do
my
our
bar
buyer
of the
of the
week
week.
was golf for green.
Golf for green.
Golf for green. Good
See,
bar.
I don't apparently don't have a buyer of the week, because
You didn't sell anything this week.
we'll have something next week, though.
Okay, so one thing I saw this week that was interesting in Australia in February, eBay were replacing its pre owned label for clothing to pre owned fair, pre owned good, and pre owned excellent. All current listings will automatically go to pre owned good and will affect all the 22 subcategories related to clothing. So they're going to start going, hey, how good is that dress? Not pre owned. It's now got 3 different levels. Something to keep in mind, and they might end up bringing it to the U.S., but who knows?
Here, I can tell you, you can see behind me, I sell clothing.
Yep.
If you want your clothing to sell faster and it's pre-owned, put pre-owned, but put a description in the pre-owned. Don't just use the
Yeah.
generic. It has a separate block there. And a lot of the first ones I listed, and I've just sold similar. I'm getting ready to revamp all this stuff. I just use the generic pre-owned one that eBay says, because if you don't put anything in box, it'll just use a generic one. People want to know, does it have any rips? Does it have any? It doesn't mean they won't necessarily buy it. They just want to know, is it
Right.
missing a button? I saw one, and the lady said, "Hey, I see it's missing a button. Does it have an extra button?" I hadn't even noticed. So I was like, so I went and checked. Sure enough, she said it should be on the sleeve. Because I went back, I was like, I don't see one at the bottom of the hem, and she sent back a chuckle smile face because this was a lady. She knew she was dealing with a man here. Because on men's clothing, it's always on the bottom, somewhere at the bottom of the shirt. She said you need to check this inside of the sleeve. I had no idea that's where they put buttons for you ladies, but apparently it's on the inside of the sleeve or something on several ladies' clothing. Sure enough, there was one there. So I told her, I said, I'm going to give you a discount for the missing button. She said, oh no, don't worry about it. It's a good enough price, and I will sew the button on myself or have the dry cleaners do it. Just because it's missing something doesn't mean that they won't buy it, but you want to notate it there in that pre-owned section. So that's good that they're doing that in Australia. I hope they bring that here as well.
Yeah.
I will continue to say you need to put something in that pre-owned box
So that's
there.
just pre-owned. All right.
Yeah.
Next news story of the week: Mercar will reinstate its 10% selling fee, and starting January 6th, the buyers will also have to pay the 3.6% buyer protection fee with no additional payment processing fee. So they're also going to put a tool in there where you can bulk price increase your items to maintain your profit. I took everything down by 10%. Now I'm going to take it back up by 10%. Actually, I delisted everything on Macari. Nothing was selling, and it's
It might be time, after January 1st to try it.
fixed.
Because when they went to all that junk where the buyer had to pay all the fees and everything, and as sellers were like, I remember it was watching stuff who are Macari sellers, and there are Macari only sellers
Yes.
and Poshmark only sellers. There are people that, like we do on eBay, like I do on eBay. Now, Ben sells on other platforms. There are people just like that, and you can go watch them on the same channels we're on.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, they were ecstatic. Oh, we're going to make so much more money. The sales went, which
I
was like,
saw a seller go through and really look at it, and basically everything cost the buyer, even though our prices went down with all the added fees, it was like 6% more profit that Macari was making off of that. So it was costing the buyer 6% more. So that was a bad idea.
terrible idea. It's kind of like Walmart with their self checkout.
Yeah,
Found out that
you got to pay for it.
the shrink was killing them. So now you got to pay to be a self checkout person.
Yes, that makes no sense.
I think they're going to find out that's a bust too. But the reason they did the self checkout was so they didn't have to pay cashiers, increase their bottom line. All the stores are going to it now, but Walmart was the first. And now Walmart is going, wait a minute, our shrink walking out the door is killing us. And it's got to be a member to check your own self out. No thanks. I just don't buy at Walmart.
There you go. All right, so my last item of the week. There was an Amazon article that I read that they were trying to remind their sellers to be on vacation. This is not my last article, but it really didn't make any sense to me. You can go on vacation with Amazon, but you still have to, despite being on vacation, sellers are required to respond to buyers' inquiries within 24 hours to maintain good account metrics. So you can go on vacation, but you don't have to ship, but you still got to talk to everybody. And they also wanted to remind you that if you wanted to fulfill orders on Christmas Day and New Year's Day, you can override the public holiday setting. So it didn't seem very seller friendly. Hey, if you want to work on Christmas and New Year's, just hit this button. And if you go on vacation, you still have to just check your account and answer stuff within 24 hours. Otherwise, you'll fall out of the metrics. So I'm glad I don't sell on Amazon. So the last thing of the thing is the Postal Service will introduce new free fees increasing starting January 9th, 2025.
So they moved it to January 9th.
One of the things that they added was a live animal or perishable handling fee. So added to certain packages, if it's a live animal or it's perishable, it will be $7.50 for Priority Mail Express and USPS Ground, and $15 for Priority Mail.
You guys need to just do yourself a favor. Go Google the history of the U.S. Postal Service and live animal rulings and stuff. They have tried for years to get, because this all started like this all started way back
Oh yeah,
when
it's been
you
around
could
forever.
ship a cow across the, or a dog, or and people started shipping their babies. Like
Shipping their
ship their.
baby.
Go look
All
at
right.
the
So the other
history of
thing
this.
that jumped out at me was the overweight charge for packages over 70 pounds. It was $100 automatic, and now it's $200. So they definitely are discouraging oversized, overweight mail. The
Well,
USPS
because they,
Ground will raise its rates 3.9% on average.
and I think it's going to go even higher than that, folks. Because here's why, and this is my prediction on it. The U.S. Postal Service and FedEx had a marital relationship there for a while, and now they've split. We That was in our eBay news a while back. And now the U.S. Postal Service is asking. I saw a sign up in my main post office today. Please be patient with our ground as we are revamping our infrastructure. So the U.S. Postal Service wants to keep the ground going. It has been a huge moneymaker for them.
Yeah.
This new thing where they are actually competing with FedEx and UPS and doing a very good job at it, I might add, as far as
Yes.
competing price wise. Now, I think they've still got some U.S. Postal Service kinks in there, like Benz's head getting blown off
Yeah.
and my package not getting checked in. But that being said, they've got to build out their infrastructure because they lost their piggyback on FedEx. And so this whole upcharge on overweight, that's part of it because they used to just push that off on FedEx and be like, there you go. Sorry.
And the other
Um,
thing that was a call out was the Alaska Limited Overland Route category will rise by 9%. So if you send it to Alaska, it's going up.
well, and I want to piggyback here too, since you brought up Alaska. Even the U.S. Postal Service now will not ship to Canada. So we've been seeing the notifications on eBay for a little while. The Canadian Post is in strike. Well, now there are signs, and if you go to the USPostalService.com and you look it up, they're like, nope, nothing's going to Canada, bud.
Find alternative ways.
So I guess you get a truck, drive it there, and then a dog sled. I don't know, but I think when I come back off of vacation, one of the things I'm probably gonna do is just go ahead and strike Canada from my international countries for right now. It's no offense, Canadians. I love you guys, but the shipping now to you guys right now is outrageous. You're not gonna want to pay it. I'm not gonna pay it. It's crazy. Again, one of my favorite places in the world. I've never ever, and I'll say this, it's documented, it's on video. The only place I have ever been in my entire life where a guy almost got run over, literally brakes squealing to a stop, guy nearly just pretty much gets bumped, and the driver and the guy got bumped apologized to each other, shook hands, and went on about their business, was in Canada. You guys are literally the nicest people, because I would have been livid either way. But that's Americans. We would have been cussing, we would have been scrapping in the street. But you guys were like, I'm sorry, no, it's my fault, I'm sorry. And you shook hands. And I was like, oh, what just happened here? So I love you guys, but y'all have got to get your postal workers back to work, whatever you got to pay them, because we can't ship you nothing.
Yes. Work that out.
We can't ship you anything.
All right. You know what? It's a little bit of a shorter show, but you know what? I think it was good information, and thanks for coming and hanging out with us. You got anything else to
Merry
add?
Christmas,
Merry
happy
Christmas.
holidays, happy Hanukkah. I don't know what you say for Kwanzaa, but have a great one and happy New Year, folks. We'll probably see you again before the New Year, but make sure that no matter what you believe this time of year, make sure you're spreading hospitality and peace and love, and give the Salvation Army some money. Come on now, they do a great job.
All right. I always drop a
They're
couple
out there
quarters in
standing in
there.
the cold, ringing that bell.
That's
Put
the only
some
reason
money
I
in
have
there.
change in my pocket, so I can drop it in there.
Yeah, give back. No matter what you believe in, karma, whatever, give back. It will give to you.
All right. Get out of here. Go make that popcorn, brother.
That's right.